I'm going to give just a minute of instruction to the candidates. You'll probably start before I'm sorry. Yes, but I wasn't pressing on this. We have to I should be able to Okay. My request of my timers, please give them ample time to not break their fingers trying to jump over to flip the switches with the responses. Just give them a second before you. Yeah. Okay. Diana.
Yes.
Question number 1 for this section. Please provide your position and rationale on charter government, including at-large or district-specific representation, and your view on the relative cost of charter versus code home rule compared to the current commissioner system. I will repeat that again. Please provide your position and rationale on charter government, including at-large or district-specific representation, and your view on the relative costs of charter versus code home rule compared to the current commissioner system.
Okay, and I have 2 minutes to answer? Great. As a member of Cecil Land Use Alliance, we did research this issue, and we followed the alternative form of government forum that traveled the county. The commissioners, I believe, allocated $10,000 for this, and it was to educate the public, and then they could choose which form of government they wanted at the end. They chose code home rule when they found out that charter did not allow for impact fees or excise fees. The commissioners at the time voted whether or not to follow the Cecil County citizens' wishes, and there was a tie-break vote that they would not. Once the new commissioners were elected, they quickly put in a charter board. The charter board always seems to be made up of the Chamber of Commerce members, a lot of those members. I do not believe, I can't accept what they're promoting, that this is going to be more efficient and cheaper government. Historically, charter government is more expensive and bigger government with less accountability. So I do not support in district voting, because when a county commissioner is elected, They represent the whole county. So code home rule, I think, makes better sense for us.
I will now give each of the other candidates 1 minute to respond to Diana's answer, starting with Terry.
About 18 months ago, the Cecil County Commissioners approved a charter board, and they've been met for about 15 months and presented a draft charter that will be on our ballot in November. I'm not sure that the issue here is charter versus code home rule. I think the Commissioners have made a decision, right or wrong, or regardless of how we feel about that. The issue that will be on the ballot in November is whether we want charter government for our Cecil County community or not. The issue of at-large versus by-district voting has something that has been taken out. It will be at-large, simply as exactly like it is here now in Cecil County. And but I would agree with Diana that I think that we need to be very wary of the cost of charter government and make sure that it does not increase the size or cost more.
Ted, you have 1 minute to respond to Diana's answer.
Well, I agree with both of you. It is a charter or commissioner form of government, and I agree with Diana. We should have commissioner form of government. I don't see a change needed, and the costs of this will be, I think, have been left out of the. When I went to the charter board, it was $53,000 would be saving, but it left out a lot of, office jobs. I know the executive will need a staff, and these have been completely left out of it. So I feel a little bit misled by what the charter board has said on how much it will cost, because I can see it being several $100,000 more for a form of government that is not more effective in my mind.
Harry, you have 1 minute to respond to Diana.
I do believe that charter is the way the commissioners said they were going to go, so that's what we have to work with. I'm going to try to get this done real quick. I sent through commissioner form of government with three commissioners, and you could probably get consensus with that. And then I sent through with 5 commissioners, and that was really tough getting consensus to get 3 people on the same page of music. So that's the reason that I really think that we've got to make some kind of a change so we can move forward. Private industry has a board sitting around them, and they bring everything to the table, but you got one person who's going to make the final decision, and that's a lot less drag time. You can get things done, and if it's not right the first time, tweak it a little bit and make it right, but you don't talk about it for 2 years. Thank you.
Diana, you have 10 seconds. We have 1 minute to respond.
Okay.
Or 30 seconds, excuse me. We haven't gotten to this point yet. 30 seconds.
Okay, Harry, I'm responding to Harry, talking about the consensus. And in some instances, I was very happy that a consensus was not reached, and I think that's part of our checks and balances. And I think that's what really does scare a lot of people about the what is it? The charter, yeah, form of government, that the county executive would have so much power.
All right. Terry, you have 2 minutes to respond to the question. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
This original question?
Yeah. And would you like me to repeat it?
I wasn't the one who was asked originally, so do I still get 2 minutes? Okay, thank you. No, I don't have anything to add. Well, I take that back. For over a year and a half, I've been attending the commissioner work sessions. And I can tell you that what we have now isn't working very well. More importantly than our form of government, though, is who we elect. If we don't have good elected officials, then the form of government doesn't really matter. So I'm so encouraged and I'm so thankful that you all are here tonight, because you had a lot of other choices of where you could be. So I thank you for that. But as we look forward for Cecil County Commissioners, or what their job is and what their role will be in the future, what I have seen in the past year and a half is that they go from week to week, putting out fires, essentially. There is very little prioritizing. There seems to be no strategic planning, and we deserve so much more than that. We deserve a government that's going to serve us and represent us as well. So as I look at that, I feel like that there are some changes that need to be made. With all due respect to the current commissioners, I think that the system that they have, being part-time commissioners does not create an environment in which they can succeed in being our county elected officials. Thank you.
Okay, Ted?
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Harry, you have
Is this
one?
like a closing statement or just?
No, you have a
Okay.
minute to respond to what.
Well,
Harry
I
said.
did forget one thing. On my second term, we had 5.
There seems to be no strategic planning, and we deserve so much more than that. We deserve a government that's going to serve us and represent us as well. So as I look at that, I feel like that there are some changes that need to be made. With all due respect to the current commissioners, I think that the system that they have, being part-time commissioners, does not create an environment in which they can succeed in being our county elected officials. Thank you.
Okay, Ted?
I have nothing to add.
Okay. Harry, you have
Is this
one?
like a closing statement or just?
No, you have a
Okay.
minute to respond to what.
Well,
Harry said.
I did forget one thing. On my second term, we had 5